So hello, everybody. Nice to see you all, and lovely to see Suzanne, who's going to do our presentation today, which is about business energetics. So I'm looking forward to hearing all about that. I've got my pen at the ready to make my notes. Perfect. So over to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Rachel, and thanks for this opportunity. And some of you were here the last time I did a talk on kind of the energetics of content creation. So we're using similar frameworks, but I'm just going to set it up for people who maybe didn't watch that video, weren't here the last time, and are just seeing this video recording in the hub. I'm just going to kind of set up a little bit of a framework around what I mean by the energetics of business. So Einstein was the one to say that everything is energy, and whether that is the pebble on the pavement or the tree outside your window or your physical body, this is something that ancient medicines have known for at least 5 millennia. Modern medicine also recognizes it. Spiritual traditions recognize it. So just to bring it back to us and our businesses, our physical bodies, our thoughts and our emotions all have energetic frequencies that can be detected with devices that are used in medicine, but also used outside of medicine in science, etc. So from that framework, it shouldn't be a huge leap for us to claim, or for me to claim, that your business also is an energetic being. So I can see this clairvoyantly, I can sense this clairsentiently, people's businesses, energy bodies. And while your business's energy body was initially born from your own creative spark, when you had the idea for your business, its energy body was created. And it would have largely mirrored your own energy body at the time of creation. But over time, it's been influenced by clients that you've worked with, by coaches, mentors, VAs, your tax accountant, anyone who has come through your business or touched your business in some way has left, maybe left an energetic imprint on your business, but has affected your business's energy body. So in that way, it may no longer mirror you exactly, and your energy body exactly, but it will still be influenced by you. And so much like your own energy body, it can hold blocks, densities, or distortions that affect the natural flow within the business. And that can be a flow in of your ideal clients, a flow in of resources, partnerships, collaborations, money, and anything else that you and your business need. And it can also affect the natural flow out of services, offerings, communication, inspired ideas becoming concrete products, programs, or session types. So I'm really going to focus my talk today on the lens of the energy body, which includes the chakra column. That's going to be the lens, is the chakra system. I could have presented it in other ways too, but that's just the way that I often see it, experience it, and it's a system that makes sense for people. So chakra in Sanskrit means disc or wheel. So a chakra is a spinning wheel of energy. And each of the spinning wheels of energy are interconnected through a network of subtle channels through which the life force energy circulates. It's a similar system in traditional Chinese medicine when you have the meridians and acupuncture points. It's those kinds of channels that the life force energy moves through. So different traditions say different things, but generally it's accepted that there are 7 major chakras and many, many, many minor chakras. And today I'm going to focus primarily on the 7 major chakras and how they affect you and your business. So whether you've realized it before today or not, you are in a relationship with your business. And the way that we connect to our business is intuitively. All right. So your relationship with your business is could be fraught with all the ways that relationships can be fraught. And it can be beautiful and harmonious in all the ways that relationships with people can be beautiful and harmonious. So I'm just going to walk us through the 7 major chakras and talk about kind of what each chakra represents in business, and how blocks in each chakra might be showing up, and then a few tips for how to clear the blocks. And one of the things I want to just say up front, because I'm not going to repeat it 7 times, is that any energy block in you or in your business's energy body can be cleared with energy healing. So that'll be across the board. But there will be other things that, if you're not an energy healer, that you can kind of take care of that yourself. There will be things that you can do as the business owner to clear your own blocks or your business's blocks. Okay. So we will, and I just want to invite you to jump in with questions as we go along. All right. So just unmute yourself if you're muted and just jump in. I've got some notes in front of me, so I don't see all of you all the time. So just let yourself unmute and jump in. Don't be shy about that. So the first chakra we're going to talk about, I'm going to work from the bottom up. So it's the root chakra, also called the base chakra. It is located at the base of the spinal column, or the tip of the tailbone. The color associated with the chakra is red. And it really represents things like safety and security, which includes financial security, structure. It's the foundation that's needed for everything else to be in flow. So I like to think of it sometimes as like a riverbed, and the base chakra is the riverbed that allows the flow of the river to move in a particular direction. It's similar with the root chakra, that when your foundations are strong but not overly rigid, then the life force energy can move through you and through your business's energy body in a way that allows you all to be in flow. So in your business, this really is about your systems and processes, your cash flow, the support you need so that your business can grow. And the root chakra is very related to the feet chakras because they're connected through the legs. The feet chakras are minor chakras. But as you can imagine, the feet ground us on this physical plane. And so the feet and the root chakra is really instrumental in our ability to receive in very physical and material ways. So if people aren't kind of earning what they need or receiving the support that they need in their businesses, this is one of the places where those blocks might be showing up. So the signs of blocks can be, as I just mentioned, kind of a limited or an intermittent cash flow. Fear comes up a lot in the base chakra, fear about survival. So you might be feeling like, I don't know if I've got a viable business here. I don't know if my business is going to survive this, whatever difficult moment that I'm in, we're in, the world is in, and let alone kind of thrive. Also, if you are more perceptive energetically, your business might feel ungrounded. And the way that might show up non-energetically is like, you might sort of feel like it's kind of like a hobby and it's not really a business, you know? If you hear yourself things saying like, my little business or my little project, things like that, then those are signs that there's potentially some blocks there in the root chakra. Having a hard time creating a strategy, or just not having a strategy, might be also a sign of a block or a cause of a block. So clearing those is really about creating a clear, intuitively led strategy. So I'm not talking about other people's shoulds and musts and have tos, and this is the 3-step way of doing things or the 10-step way of doing things. It's really about you and your business creating an intuitively led strategy that is right for you and your business. Also, clearing blocks can be taking a look at your systems and making sure that they are adequate and functional, and also not too rigid. So that could be things like, how easy is it for people to find you? How easy is it for people to connect with you? If people want to book you, how easy is that? If they go to pay, how easy is that? Anywhere where your systems might be breaking down, making sure links work, all of those kinds of things are really important to supporting a nice, strong business base chakra. All right. I've mentioned the word rigidity too much. There are times when our systems are too rigid or too clunky, and that also can clamp down on the business, the base energy, the root energy, and that can prevent the flow happening. So if you're just feeling like, oh, this is just a lot of hard work, one of your tech pieces or something feels like a lot of hard work, that might be a sign for you that it's too rigid or not appropriate for you and your business. All right, so that's the base chakra. We'll move on to the second chakra now, which is the sacral chakra, and that's located in the lower abdomen. And the color associated with that chakra is orange. And the sacral chakra really represents the seat of creativity. So if you think about female bodies, that's literally where life is conceived and comes into form and being. And so in our businesses, it is the spark. When we get that creative spark, whether that's about writing a post or whether that's about the next service or offering, it's really coming from your sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is also the seat of emotion. And so in that way, it's the chakra where, when it's well aligned, people are just drawn to work with you. The right aligned people are attracted to you. It's like that attraction that's kind of something invisible, but it's like the emotion and the energy emanating from your business's sacral chakra, and your sacral chakra is so aligned with your mission, your purpose, your vision, that it's attracting in the right kinds of people, whether that's a tribe, resources, clients, collaborators, whatever that is, it's drawing in those resources for you. So in essence, the sacral chakra supports the intuitive and creative flow and gives you the energy to take inspired action. So when you're feeling out of love with your business, when you're feeling like it's stale and you're not having any fun, when there's no spontaneity left, when it just feels like same old, same old, same old, that can be a sign of a block in the sacral chakra. When there's constriction around abundance, so the not enough clients, not enough earnings, that can be held in the sacral chakra as well, a block there. When you have clients that show up who suck you dry, that drain you, that you find difficult to work with, that ask for way more than what they're paying for, or way more than what you're offering or willing to offer or able to offer, those are clear signs of blocks in the sacral chakra. Also, an inability to find a supportive community, and a lack of energy rather than a sense of abundance. Those are all signs of blocks. So again, clearing the blocks is really about playing, finding joy, being creative, setting your inner child free. Like those things, even if you're doing them in your life not related to your business, it's going to feed your business's sacral chakra. The more your sacral chakra is fed, the more your business's sacral chakra will be fed. But then there's also, you can just really, like, when you are creating content, and we'll talk a little bit more about this with the throat chakra as well, and the heart, because there are a lot of them are related. But what you want to do is, when you're looking to connect, whether that's out networking or writing posts or blogs or whatever you're doing, to really kind of be rooted and grounded in that sacral chakra, so that you're connecting emotionally with your tribe or clients. People in marketing talk about this a lot, like the emotional hook. And I don't mean manipulatively. That's going to block other chakras if you're kind of manipulating the emotional content, but something that's genuinely coming from that deep place within you and your business that feels really aligned to your mission, to your purpose. It's really embodying who you and your business are in the world. Does that make sense? Yeah. And another way to clear blocks is to say goodbye to clients who are draining you, and commit to yourself and to your business, because this is a relationship. So you make commitments to your business that you're only going to accept clients who feel aligned to you and your business. And sometimes that requires some work around fears of not enough, and that's root chakra again, like lack. That might require some work there, but making that commitment to yourself and to your business. And then also hanging out in communities that support you and your business and are really kind of on that similar, we can call it vibration, we can call it kind of mindset, we can call it, like-hearted people, but you know who those people are in your life, and finding more of those communities. That community really supports the sacral chakra. So then we move up to the solar plexus chakra, which is in the upper abdomen. The color associated with it is yellow. Think of the sunshine. And this is really the I am chakra. It gives your business a sense of identity, and a sense of who it is, its worth. The solar plexus chakra is really about like self-love and self-trust and confidence and empowerment. It's also where action is derived from. So the inspiration comes from your creative, from the sacral chakra. The inspired action comes from the creative spark that starts in your sacral chakra. It rises up into your solar plexus chakra, and that willfulness in your solar plexus chakra allows you to kind of take that inspired action. It's kind of that warrior energy at times too. Just to go back a second, the sacral chakra can be a lot around boundaries, right? Especially when it comes to the right kinds of people, but also the solar plexus supports the setting of the boundaries, saying yes and no to the right thing. So those two things working in alignment together really allow you to say yes and no to the right things. And the solar plexus is really kind of from where you draw your motivation. So signs of blocks are poor boundaries with your clients, so they kind of take advantage, or you're left with that feeling anyway. Being directionless, so not feeling like you really know where you're going. Like, it's okay at times to have that, but that could be really a sign of a block in the solar plexus, especially if the third eye is also blocked. But difficulty making decisions. If your business doesn't have a clear identity, that could be a block and a sign of a block. So you're giving mixed messages about who it is, what you do, that sort of thing. And finding yourself in the comparisonitis, comparing yourself to other people who are doing similar work, and really kind of like most female entrepreneurs, maybe most people. We'll kind of evaluate that we're not doing as well as other people, right? So it's often said that the ego does one of two things. It either compares itself to other people and decides that we're less than, or it compares itself to other people and decides that we're better than, right? And so each ego, and we all have egos. It's not that kind of like, I don't mean that egotistical, overinflated grandiosity. I mean that for outward facing aspect of ourselves. We all have an ego, and our ego will have a tendency or another. There might be times where it steps out of its usual, but I often see, especially in female entrepreneurs, that our ego is evaluating us as less than, not as good as other. So when you find yourself in that space, that's really a huge sign of a block in the solar plexus. So clearing the blocks is about taking action, because this is right where you take the action from and where the motivation comes from. So that can be really tiny, small steps, but just taking the steps. So toward your clear and intuitively led goals and intentions, that really feeds your solar plexus chakra. A lot of people sort of say, that something can feel really overwhelming, but if they just take one small step, then they get into the groove and the flow. And what's happening is that your solar plexus is being fed there. Also creating clear boundaries for things such as accepting the right clients, as I've said, and the amount of time you spend in business, or the when you spend your time in your business. So having clear boundaries really feeds the solar plexus and the sacral, but we're talking about the solar plexus. Another way to support your solar plexus is to have consistent and energetically aligned branding. So we all may change our branding at some point or another. The focus of our business may change. So we might be going through transitions. That's absolutely fine. But just once you arrive at the new clarity, just making sure that your branding and your messaging is consistent and aligned to that new identity or the existing identity. And then another thing that's really easy to do and really strengthens your business's solar plexus is to collect testimonials, right? It's just giving your business that sense of worth. So up to the heart chakra, right, as where you would imagine it to be, right in the center of the chest. The color associated with it is green. Sometimes pink is associated with it because that's the higher heart, kind of the spiritual heart. But so it can be green or pink. The heart of your business is really the essence of your business. It's the truth of who your business is. And obviously your heart chakra is the truth of who you are. The heart is also the seat of love and compassion and emotional healing. So when we have a really clear heart chakra, we are harmonized. It's the chakra that sits right in the middle of the 7 chakras. There are 3 above and 3 below. So when it's clear and harmonized, it also harmonizes the upper chakras and the lower chakras. And it also harmonizes between the receiving and the giving. So in that way, it becomes a really clear expression of your business's truest self. Signs of blocks are falling out of love with what you do, falling out of love with your business, a lack of connection with why you do what you do. You set up your business with a why, right? The idea came from something inside of yourself. And when you're no longer connected to that, it can be a block. And just a general lack of energy or excitement in your business. Those can be all signs of blocks. So this is the place where it's really important to connect with your business through your heart and to nurture the relationship with your business in much the same way you would nurture a relationship with somebody who you've feeling disconnected with or have had a falling out from and that you want to reconnect with. It's just really kind of doing that heart opening and connecting with what you love doing in your business, bringing more of that into your business and less of the heavy stuff that feels like the have-tos. How many of those have-tos can you let go of? Then also really very practical, easy practice that you can do is to, this is a little bit different than a gratitude list, but to write down a list of all the things that you have received from your business. And there's a little bit of a difference between receiving and gratitude. Gratitude is a giving out energy. It's a yang energy. And I'm really encouraging you to focus on the receiving energy of the heart, which is really like that feeling into all of the things that your business has given you. All of the things, and that could be things that you've learned, people that it's brought to you, clients, money, whatever you've received from your business, making a list of that, feeling into through the heart space, the receiving of that, and then giving the thanks, showing the gratitude. The throat chakra, pretty clear, it's in the throat and neck. The color associated with the throat chakra is blue. And also, not surprisingly, it represents communication and creative expression. So this is the authentic voice of your business. It's the gateway to a truthful existence, and it expresses your business's heart, right? So if the energy moves up from this nice, strong root, goes up through the creative into the willful identity, up through the heart, then it comes out your throat chakra with just this beautiful expression of your business's heart. So the outward expression, outward communication, whether that's spoken or written, is the yang aspect of your business's throat chakra. But the yin aspect is the intuitive listening. So that's where you're really hearing your business's intuitive voice. It does come in through the third eye, but you can't hear it if the throat is dense. So intuitively understanding what your clients need, what your customers need or want from you and from your business, all comes from the throat chakra. And then also it connects the truth of your own heart and your own creativity. Signs of blocks can be having difficulty creating content, having difficulty explaining what you do, resistance to putting promotional material out there, especially if it's spoken. So doing talks, presentations, live videos, all those things. I'm not saying that you should be doing all of those things or any of those things, but what I'm saying is that if you feel a resistance to doing that, that could be very well a sign of a block in the throat chakra. Perfectionism is also a big red flag for throat chakra blocks. This sort of passive, like expecting clients just to find you, can also be an indication of a throat chakra block. So I like to suggest for clearing throat chakra blocks is to create a ritual that connects you to your business's energy body on a regular basis, and to find the true voice of your business so that you can then be the voice piece. And sometimes also for entrepreneurs, just to take that step and say, okay, this isn't about self-promotion. I'm promoting this business that I love and honor and respect, right? Which is, yes, my business, but it is its own entity, isn't it? And sometimes that just taking that one step, we're often really good at promoting other people more than ourselves. And so if we can promote our business instead of ourselves, that's such a beautiful framework. Writing and speaking from the heart of your business and dropping the professional voice or the voice of someone else, like a coach, a mentor, a copywriter, somebody who's saying, this is how you need to set it up. This is how you need to communicate. Being really transparent in your communications is also important. So this can show up in things like, I know that business coaches and mentors that I've approached in the past would have said things like, to gain credibility, you need to make it look like you have more experience than you do, that you're a bigger business than you are. All of those kinds of things block your throat chakra. So being really transparent, like if you're a one-person show, then you're talking I on your website, not we. If you are a partnership, then it's absolutely, of course, fine to say we. But I would say don't try to make yourself look different, you or your business to look different than how you really are. And know and trust in that sacral place that you will draw in the right people for you when you're being clear, transparent, and honest. So yeah, it feels really important. Throat chakra stuff feels really important for entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs. And I'm not trying to exclude the men who will be watching this, but there's just a lot of cultural messages around women silencing themselves or being silenced and not standing in their truth and speaking their truth. So we carry a collective energy in our throat chakras that make it a little more challenging sometimes to speak up and speak out. So moving up to the third eye, which is right in the middle of the forehead between the eyebrows, the color associated with this chakra is indigo. And it's where we see the outer world and our inner world, right? So it's intuition, inspiration, decision-making, imagination, thought, and vision. Your big vision for your business lies in your third eye chakra, and your business business's big vision for itself lies in its third eye chakra. And so when I'm working with people who feel like that their vision is no longer clear or never was entirely clear, then what we're doing is a lot of third eye communication through the third chakra between you and your business. So when you're experiencing, or if you experience, it's not a given that you will, an incongruence between your inner and outer worlds, like you know that this is meant to be something different or better than it is, and it's just not quite there, and you just can't get it there, that can be a sign of a block to your third eye. When you get stuck in thinking your way through your business and having a mental approach that doesn't take into account your business's innate wisdom, and its intuitive path, that can be both a blocker and a sign of a block. Though lots of business mentoring programs focus very strongly on the rational, logical thinking, and they have lots of sequential, step-by-step things that you should do. This is often, and because our cultures also value that kind of rational thinking, we can be very imbalanced in our third eye chakra. So the third eye chakra does include that rational, logical, sequential sort of thinking, but that's often really imbalanced with the intuitive voice and the intuitive knowing and the intuitive seeing, and the intuitive way of thinking. So sometimes it's just a matter of really balancing those things. I'm not saying that we should throw our logical minds out the window. I'm really grateful for mine, and it helps keep me on track. And it's really good at creating and following habits and etc. But because we live in an imbalanced culture, then there's often a real imbalance here, and we're not creating the space to be intuitively led and hear the intuition messages coming through. So clearing the third eye is a lot about lining up the throat with the heart, and that allows the upward flow into the third eye. And that will help create the congruence between what you see in your inner world and what's reflected in the outer world. Another way of clearing blocks is, again, creating that harmony between the mental mind and intuition so that they support each other. And a lot of that is just about getting quiet so that you create space in your day and in your week to hear the intuitive voice, because it's trying to get your attention. It does get your attention, and it's just creating more space for you to hear it more clearly. And then, as I mentioned earlier, connecting with your business to co-create the business vision from that intuitive place. Your business wants to be all that it came here to be. And so it wants that nice, wide open vision, that big, big vision. And then the crown chakra is the final one we'll cover today. It's located on the top of the head. The color associated with it is either violet or white. That connects us to the universal energy, that sense of oneness, being all interconnected. It gives your business a sense of meaning. Also identity. Identity is also in the solar plexus, but an identity in the bigger world, in a bigger sense. Our deeper sense of knowing, curiosity, joy, serenity come from a nice wide open crown chakra. And so a nice open crown chakra in your business allows your business to reach its highest potential. Signs of blocks to the business's crown chakra are when you feel like you're disconnected, you're doing it alone. If you're running membership groups or hubs or a community in some way or another, and you have a hard time to create that sense of cohesion within your community, that could be a sign. Could be down in the sacral chakra, but it could be a sign of a block up in the crown chakra. The crown chakra is really the portal through which the life force energy enters the body. And without that energy coming through, you and your business can feel disconnected from each other, from yourself, from other people. And that can create difficulties within the business. And if you're feeling like you are having a hard time communicating with your business, receiving clear intuitive messages, it could be a block in the crown chakra as well. Those moments when we are mindlessly doing the dishes or passing the Hoover or in the shower, and we get those aha moments that generate really good business ideas, those come through the crown chakra. So if you're getting a lack of those, if you're just not feeling like those are dropping in, those moments of clarity, then that could also be a sign of a block. So I find the most effective way of opening your crown chakra and keeping it clear is to do, I have a couple of recordings on my YouTube channel, which I'm happy to send through to Rachel and share with all of you, which really allow you to open your feet chakras and your crown chakra and move the energy through, because it allows you to open up that loop. The feet and the root chakra connect us downward to the earth, and the crown chakra connects us upward to the universal energy, the divine, the spiritual, whatever you want to call that energy, the cosmic energy that connects us upward. So I've got a few practices that really allow that energy to move through and to kind of open that flow. Also, visualizations are really good for opening up the crown chakra. So visualizing white or violet light pouring into the top of your head and then coming down into your body and pouring through the other chakras, especially through your spinal column, connecting you to everything around you. Those sorts of visualizations are really good. And another thing, the crown chakra is silent and it really loves silence. So creating more and more quiet spaces in your life is really important for the crown chakra. And another thing that really supports the crown chakra, clearing blocks, is to stop believing your thoughts and to expand your paradigm, So we get caught in these often self-defeating thought patterns. And yes, that lives in our third eye chakra, in the mental aspect of the third eye chakra, but it really shuts off the crown chakra. So when we can take that step away from and not believe our thoughts to be true, that really supports the crown chakra rebalancing and unblocking. And then also, and this is true with any of the chakras, if you surround yourself with the color of the chakra or wear that color, it can really support opening that chakra. So with the crown chakra, that would be either white or violet. And Rachel's wearing blue today, which is really subconsciously supporting her throat chakra and allowing that communication to flow more easily. So it's those sorts of things that you can think through. So that, Rachel, were you about to ask a question?
No, I was just thinking that's really interesting because I'm going to a meeting after this, which is like a round table peer meeting. So there'll be lots of communicating going on.
Perfect. It's perfect. Yes. So clearing your own energy body is just as important as clearing your business's energy body, because you are in relationship with it, right? And I guess that's another thing that I want to kind of say is that understanding that giving and receiving is one flow of energy is really important. They're not two separate things and two separate flows, two separate channels. I know that for myself and for a lot of people I work with in my healing practice, those of us who are oriented to helping and service are often blocking the receiving back in. We're often out of balance with the giving. And that can really lead us to exhaustion, stress, feeling alone, resentment, burnout, but also in business, very importantly, a lack of a sense of abundance and resourcefulness and prosperity. So that I often see blocks to receiving in the feet and in the back of the heart chakra. But it can be anywhere. You can be blocking the yin aspects of receiving in any of the chakras. All the chakras have a yin and a yang aspect. So it's just really paying attention to, and I touched on that a bit when I talked about boundaries. It's really paying attention to how much you're allowing to flow outward to other people and how much you're receiving back in, and making sure that you're keeping your receiving channels nice and open. So when we work with our intuition and we work with our business intuitively, we have the opportunity to bring healing to those areas where our experiences have anchored beliefs that hold us and hold our business back. And when with this framework of understanding, ooh, where am I blocked in my business right now, and being able to kind of focus on, oh, that might very well could be a block in this chakra, then you can do some work there to some energetic work to heal that, to clear the density, to unlock it in some way. And when we do that energetic work, when we really allow ourselves to kind of unblock those places, whether we do that on our own or with other, with an energy healer or whatever, then what that allows is for us to bring our vibrational frequency and our business's vibrational frequency up to match our dreams, our ambitions, the big vision that we talked about. And that's when our business really becomes such an amazing channel of abundance for us. But it requires also doing those very practical bits, staying connected to our intuition, receiving insight, taking action on that inspiration. So again, I'm going to say it again, because I just feel like this is like one of my core messages, is just to, I really invite people to let go of taking action for the sake of taking action, and taking action on other people's shoulds or formulas or whatever, and really striving to take inspired action that's drawn from your own wisdom and from the wisdom of your business. So that's where I thought to leave it for today. So but I'm very open to any questions, reflections, comments.
I don't think I've ever written as much on a training.
No, really? Me neither.
It's a whole different world to me. I don't really know and understand any of this side of business, so I do find it really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's all new, and something I'm learning about. Don't know how anybody else feels. Is everybody else familiar with this sort of thing?
In the work I do, I kind of overlap, but I don't get into energies, and I find it absolutely fascinating, Suzanne, because I think where I finish is where the energetics takes over, and it's just such a lovely bit to see. Okay, so yeah, I can see some real parallels and synergies, and partly for the people that I work with, but absolutely for me and my business, and just looking at it and thinking, oh, okay, so yeah, that's maybe something I need to do a bit of work on. Really super helpful, thank you. Beautiful.
Yeah, you're so
welcome. I managed to get pulled up on one thing on each section.
Right, yes. Yeah, you can go, oh, right. Oh,
that's
right.
Me. Yeah. Well, that's me.
I love the way, Suzanne, how you've linked it to business. Really, I really love the fact you've linked it to business, and it made so much sense as well. One of the things that, this is a really odd question, but I'm always a bit unsure exactly where the solar plexus chakra is. Is it here? Is it there?
Right. So I can't see where you're pointing.
You can't see me, can you? Yeah, right.
But if you think about sort of midway between your navel and the bottom of your breastbone.
Oh,
right. So
okay. Oh, right. So it's lower than I thought it was then.
Upper belly, kind of the middle of the upper belly. Although when I'm feeling into other people's energy bodies, I often feel the blocks or the stuff going on, the densities, a little higher up, kind of more where the stomach is,
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like the location of the energy in the body is something to be held a little bit loosely. Like it's pretty clear that the sacral chakra is not up in the middle of the forehead, however, where exactly I'm sensing it in people can be, a few centimeters up or down from where I'm sensing it in somebody else, or where I sensed it from them the time before, kind of a thing.
And how do you feel that energy when because you're talking about sensing their energy? How do you feel it? How do you experience it yourself?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I have just really like worked on developing my intuition, which means that I've opened up my intuitive channels. And so there are 4 primary intuitive channels. This could be a whole other training, but I'll just
I'll book you in
really quickly. The one that people most sort of think about is clairvoyance, being able to kind of see things. And whether that's seeing something in your head represented or seeing something outside, like some people can see auras, right? That's clairvoyance, being able to see it. So I have some clairvoyance. Clairsentience is that what a lot of kind of empaths and highly sensitive people have without knowing it. It's that those intuitive channels are very wide open, maybe sometimes too wide open. So it's being able to kind of feel other people's feelings, and to sense other people's energy, like the people who can walk in a room and go, "Ooh, I'm not going over there, but I'll go over here." You know, that's clairsentience, and that was my first, like, most open channel when I really started paying attention to these things. That's something that I've kind of had open my whole life, for better or for worse, and once I learned to kind of manage that channel better, then my other channels came more and more online. And then there's claircognizance, which is just a sense of knowing. When you know something and you don't know how you know it, but you just know it, that's claircognizance. Or a solution to a problem suddenly drops in, like, you know, and you know that it wasn't something you thought of. That's claircognizance. And then so Claire, CLAIR, and then cognizance, COGNIZANCE. I don't know if Brits spell that with an S instead of
It's an S.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. As I was saying B, I was like, I should be saying Z, and maybe it's an S for them. And yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then the 4th primary intuitive channel is clairaudience. So audience being auditory, hearing. So it's hearing voices, hearing words, messages, like literally hearing them inside or outside your head. Yeah, those moments where we think we heard somebody call our name and we look around and there's nobody there, or nobody there who would have called our name. That's your clairaudience trying to get your attention, your intuition trying to get your attention. But also just like sometimes I'll just like hear a message coming through for somebody. Yeah, so those are the 4 primary messages. So when I say feeling into people's energy bodies, I'm talking about my clairsentience, and sometimes I see images that tell me where things are, or I see colors that point me to where things are, where the blocks are located, where the work needs to focus.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I only noticed it halfway through the call. I've been really drawn to your pink crystal. I don't know why. I just kept being drawn in to look at your pink crystal, but I've no idea why.
Thank you. That's higher heart, love, universal love, unconditional love, higher heart, spiritual heart. That's the color.
Okay.
So there may be a message for you in, you know, like opening your heart more, your higher heart more, tapping into universal or unconditional love, or it may be that you're drawn to it because you're in that energy right now, you know, but yeah. I just put it on purpose this morning. I just felt the need for that extra support. Yeah, like, and that was just intuitive, you know, like I didn't think about, oh, I need a little extra support, heart support today. It was just intuitive. Yeah. So I loved your question, Helen, and I hope did that answer it?
Oh yeah, no, I've really enjoyed the talk. I mean, I'm really impressed as well that you can talk that length of time and it was completely engaging, because that takes a real skill to do that for that length of time. And it looked like I was just trying to scribble as much as quickly as I could. It was really fascinating.
Luckily, you'll have the recording too, so you can go back. Yeah. You know? But yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased.
It was
flowed beautifully. Sorry, I was just saying that you flowed beautifully today. Even it was so interesting, and the way that you related it to business just makes you wonder why it hasn't been talked about a lot before, really. Yeah, it's the first time I've heard of it. It's fascinating.
That's beautiful. I'm glad I could bring something new and something that just kind of expands your paradigms again, you know, a bit. Yeah.
And
yeah.
do you talk about this on like LinkedIn and things? Because I only tend to see your Friday Bridge things, which of course now aren't on there.
Yeah. Yeah, not very often. I'm not posting a lot on LinkedIn. It's the only social media platform I'm on for right now. So no, I'm not talking about it there, but I'm going to start talking about it more in my newsletters. I'm going to have kind of like, because I work with people individually, and then I've got my kind of business entrepreneurs groups, mentoring programs that I run. And I'm just going to do, you know, like the entrepreneurs corner in my newsletter. So I'll be talking about it more then. And I'm feeling like there's a social media platform that is calling me to it. I'm not quite sure which one it is yet. And so I might start talking about that there too, but it's also a little bit like tricky for me with doing private work with people and doing work with entrepreneurs, and like what messages am I putting, because it's very different people, and what message am I putting out there and where and all that. But yeah, I'm gonna, with the Friday Bridge, I shouldn't be saying this on a recording because then I have to really hold to it. I'm gonna be moving on to Insight Timer. So
oh, fantastic. I love Insight Timer.
Yeah, so they're really picky about the quality of audio, and I'm still a little too echoey, so I have to figure some things out with my mic and my setup. But yeah, I'm hoping to get
So
that.
will we be able to find you on there then, Suzanne?
Not yet, but you know, like shall we say maybe by the end of August?
Oh, that'll be fantastic. Exciting.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to start with just showing up with my Friday Bridge, and then we'll see from there where things
What
go.
about have you got things on your wall, pictures, and to stop the echo?
Oh, right. Yeah, no, it's pretty barren here. I mean, I've got plants and I've got furniture, but not enough things on the walls. And I was just thinking even of hanging some heavy fabrics on the wall.
That'll just help. Yeah.
So it's just like in the next couple of weeks getting that done.
Excellent. Well, I've not been to the Friday Bridge for a few weeks, but that's because I've been away and things going on. But I will be back because I really enjoy it.
Good. Thank you. Yeah. It's always wonderful having you there too. So yeah.
Has anybody got any further questions? Oh, it's bang on 12. Perfect.
No, that was brilliant. Loved it.
No, just to
really
say thank you, Suzanne, so much. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
really, really great.
If you want, I don't know whether you want, but I can always put this recording, because it goes on YouTube on my channel, but it goes as a private or a listing. I can always put it open, public, if you want, for, you know,
it's up to you.
Whether you want people to see as much as you saw, and if everybody else is happy to be on there.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Somebody might find you who's looking for, you know.
Business support. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, I'm very open to that. Thank you. Yeah.
Fabulous. Lovely. Well, there we go, ladies. I will just stop the recording.